Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have the second part of the special Ocarina of... Ocarina I say. Oracle of Seasons, All Essence race. And commentator will be Phenomenon and Tompa.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Scene.
It's 9 p.m. It's clearly evening. Clearly.
Ocarina of Seasons is my favorite Zelda game, so I'm very excited for this.
It's the fourth game that was never made.
Yeah. The fourth game after the third game of Oracle of Secrets. Very exciting. This time we have 8 people, 7 people, 8 runners.
Yeah, one essence each.
Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna do, each person's just gonna stop after one essence, and then we'll see what the combined time is. It's just a sum of best situation.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Okay, so race is starting.
Boy.
Go! Okay.
Oh, no.
Get some nice delay here.
Yeah, we'll let the restream sync up and
Yeah.
we'll be good to go.
Indeed. It's all the randomizers, yeah. Team Authority randomizer.
We are usually about 30 seconds behind the actual race time.
Yep.
There we go. We start, we go. Welcome to Holodrum. Welcome to the Superior Oracles game. Welcome
Indeed.
to just a good time in general with your
And the
classmates.
game's 9-year anniversary for the Japanese version. No, not 19 year, I mean.
Yeah,
9 years.
19 years, was released February 27th, 2001 in Japan. A little bit later, same year, for the US and Europe.
Yeah.
So we are celebrating with a good old-fashioned all dungeons, all essences race, which is weird to say now that it has to be in all essences and in all dungeons and not any percent, because up until like 4 months ago, it was any percent, and then Dren decided that he wanted to come back and break the game and found the ability to skip 5. You only complete 3 dungeons now in any percent, so
Yeah. It's one of the only major glitches in the game at all, so in
Yeah.
general.
I know, that's what my big commentary poll back last year when we were doing the tournaments was the fact that I liked Seasons so much more than Ages because Seasons had so few glitches in it.
Yeah.
And then now I look stupid because we've got cuckoo duping and skipping all the things.
When I made a first run of this game back in 2005, I decided between the two games, and I practiced them both a lot and played a lot. And the reason I picked Seasons was not only because it's a better game, clearly, but I only found tricks in this game. I didn't find anything in Ages, pretty much. So I went for Seasons, and it ended up being faster as well, which I didn't know at the time.
Right. And now it's faster again, I think.
It's
after
way
all that time.
faster, yeah.
It's way faster. It's been a weird
And
journey.
back when I did my run, I only did a segmented run. I never did single segment. That was 15 years ago. And the rules were different in general. Like, you weren't allowed to say warp, for example.
Right.
And that cost like several minutes in the run. So, the run is about to start here, the race.
Yeah, we've gone
After
for our
the-
introduction. We've done our classic Zelda intro. Hey, here's the girl. Hey, girl gets captured by the bad guy. Hey, Link, go save the girl.
And as you can see, it's Link's Awakening, so we need to go to the beach to find the sword.
Just classic. Classic.
Indeed.
But, I mean, I guess just a quick rundown on anyone that isn't familiar with Seasons in general, the Oracle of Seasons. Seasons' main gimmick here is going to be those changing seasons as they go from screen to screen, different regions. You'll see that the season in the top left does shift depending on where they are between the 4 seasons. Each of those 4 seasons has an effect on the overworlds. And the game, as we go throughout, our main item that we're going to be getting, that Rod of Seasons, is going to let us adapt, change, shift the world around us so that we can get access to everywhere we need to go.
Yeah. And you could see a lot of save warping in this game to keep some backtracking. And in the Japanese version of the game, the save warping is a lot faster.
Yeah, the English version, we have the Capcom screen. You're not able to just mash past, so you have to sit there and wait for a solid extra like second and a half, 2 seconds, and it's just a pain.
And it's also less text. There are a few gameplay changes in general.
Yeah.
There's a boss that you can not skip, but you can shorten it in the Japanese version.
Yep. But it's also the only version, I believe. I mean, Europe might, I don't remember, but I believe that
Oh.
Japan, the final boss fight is a little bit longer. Hard. I would say longer as opposed to harder because it's the same thing, but it takes a few more hits, which is the only sort of time lost overall compared to the English version.
Dragon and Jangle get a bad RG pattern here. As when they enter the forest, the village, you get different kind of seasons. And if you get winter, you have to go through a couple extra screens. So they went back and forth to change the seasons. Sword and B and nothing else. Like everyone else is wrong. Like that's a fact. Like the discussion to same in Link's Awakening, and for Link's Awakening remake, the sword is stuck on B for the entire game. So yeah, Nintendo knows what's up. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Early passionate response. I do agree. I'm gonna be honest. My philosophy is more just that I need feather on A, and because I need feather on A, that just means sword has to be on B by definition. Yeah. That's my personal view on it. But you know, they do put the sword on B. There's a reason for it. You gotta accept it. Oh man.
So I hope none of these runners are going to switch the button when they get something else.
We'll see.
It's like I'll pause the stream at once. Like I want body watching one.
I'll just close their stream and we'll talk about the other 3. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll just pretend that they don't exist.
And if all 4 like go for it, like the race is over. So
it's actually just an auto DQ, so it's pretty rough, honestly, all things considered.
So the first timing in here, it's nothing special going on really. Kill enemies, open doors, get keys, ride the minecart.
First dungeon, Gnarled Root. This is our classic, you know, the intro commentary knowledge for all the new people. Oracle Seasons has the history of starting out as a potential kind of sort of Legend of Zelda, the original remake, and a lot of those remnants are ever present throughout this. The layout of this dungeon is the dungeon map is identical to the dungeon map for the first dungeon in Legend of Zelda. So we're going to see a lot of that similarity. A lot of the bosses that we see are going to be identical.
It seems like Mashi picked up the map from the chest before.
That's what we call a little bit of that that randomizer muscle memory there. Trez.
And this dungeon technically has the 2 items in it. You get the bombs and the seed satchel.
Yeah. Our bombs here gonna be, I mean, honestly one of the biggest differences, I say amongst everything else about the games, one of the big item differences between Ages and Seasons is how important of an item bombs are in Ages and how you have to get them in a very obscure, needing to go get mystery seeds to give to a queen and everything, as opposed to Seasons where it's just, yeah, here's a chest, open it up, you got bombs, carry on with your life, we got things to do.
Pretty nice fighting from Dragon, the first mini boss. Got a double hit with the bomb.
Ooh, PK not getting that double hit, but
yeah.
It's a little bit the worst of the fight, but still getting done. Mashi also not getting the double hit, but getting a better position on that blue Moblin.
I wonder if in the Japanese version, if saving quitting isn't faster after you get the seeds.
I don't know.
I kind of feel like it could be.
Potentially, but I think with this too, maybe. I also don't know how many of the runners, if any, are going to be doing the powering level 2 manip. I don't think Dragon's going to, because I don't think he feels super confident about it, but I could be wrong. I don't think he does it. I don't think he does it in his PBs, so that's why I don't think he's doing it. But there is a couple different routes at this. That involve getting 30 kills by the end of Dungeon 1 so you can spawn Maple to manip a ring.
Giant, don't die, thanks.
So we'll see if any of the runners end up doing that. What you will see pretty much all the runners do as they do a reset, you saw Dragon do it and the other 3 as well now, they're going to be swinging their sword to listen for the pitches of the sword between a low, medium, and high note to manipulate enemy locations, and as well as the boss movement here that you saw from Aquamentus on Dragon. It keeps Aquamentus from putting his head down and charging at you if you are able to get that correct. And we're going to see a lot of that manipulation throughout the run. Primarily in this first early half, as we see Dragon getting out of D1, and we're seeing PK and Jangler swinging their swords, trying to make sure they get that right. Ooh, Manip Jangler ever not getting it correct. Pokes the wall as he waits.
He needs to be a bit careful as well, as one hit and is dead. Should be fine now on this. Taking it safe.
Hey, there we go.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep. So Dragon here, not going for the ring manip here on Maple. It's going to head back into town. I think it's summer. Fall. Oh, I don't do. Yeah, sorry. I do the ring manip, so this season doesn't make sense. But no, we're. I got thrown off. I was like, this isn't the season it's supposed to be in town, but we're fine. Everything's fine.
So do people go for the swag with throwing the Ember Seed before you start talking?
So, and we are seeing PK here. Going to be going for that ring grab. It does look like he's got it, and he gets the potion, so we know that we have a good manip here. That potion is going to be a sort of lifeline for PK. We're going to see Mashy go for the same strat here. That potion will revive you upon losing.
No, the ring fell in the water.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Mashy not getting it, and a little bit of punishment here as you can't scroll the screen until you collect all the items once Maple's been activated. It's only one.
And you see Dragon right now at the Rosa, and she can take different paths when she's playing hide and seek, and that's also something you can manipulate.
Yeah, so she has a short route and a long route for each screen. Doing the ring manip as part of that, you do also manip Rosa's screens to make sure you get that better motion, but since Dragon's not going for that, he doesn't quite get that. You also manip a couple of rupee drops to make sure that you have 10 by the time you finish Dungeon 2, because you do need to go ahead and fight Blano after Dungeon 2 to get Ricky's gloves. Jangler playing it, that was okay. I thought Jangler was going to get caught there. That was
Rose is blind, like all the classic cards in Zelda games. They can't see or hear anything. It's great.
Top of us stuff. Much about her. But we do see Dragon heading into the Subrosia region here. The underside of Holodrum.
Yeah.
Which up Rod of Seasons. As well as our first season, Winter.
Yeah, the temple here was originally on the overworld, but Onyx made it fall down for some reason. Like, I don't care about the story. I can speak Japanese anyway, so... Winter is coming, indeed.
That is true. Once Dragon does be able to change the season when stepping upon any stump, doing so will freeze over lakes. It'll create snowman and block the way and create sort of up you can walk on and create little snow to be able to get past.
Back when I first played this game with my brother, the first time we got to know the seasons, we were so hyped because it was a new item and I've never seen before. Like, oh, this is so exciting! We had so much fun. I miss those good old days. Playing games for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, being almost 20 years at this point. It's like crazy to think about.
I kind of regret first playing this game on an emulator as well.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, I never bought it.
No.
My brother bought it eventually. But,
we got it. I got it as a kid. I got Seasons, and my friend got Ages, and then we played through, got our codes, and swapped and went through.
Oh, nice. Love it.
So I might have a little bit of extra Seasons bias from that being the one that I played first as a kid.
Yeah, me and one brother played the Seasons, and my other brother played Ages. So this was my first game as well between the two.
You'll see that Winter Tower is technically an item skip, as the game does want you to go do Subrosian dancing to get a boomerang, but we have bombs, and Subrosian dancing sucks.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's long. It's not terribly difficult, but it is...
it's not as bad as the Goron dancing.
No, you have a little
This is
bit
like
more.
another reason why White Seasons is the superior game.
Yeah, Subrotian Dancing does beat out Goron Dancing.
All day.
And we're gonna see that raw dip into action here by Dragon up top.
Yeah, so you can walk on ice. As Link is just a kid, he can't swim yet.
Oh. Not doing any sort of Malbon Road manip either, as he does get hit by that Malbon arrow. Malbon Road, especially before the manip existed, back when, at least in 2012-ish, when I was doing this originally, and before that, Malbon Road was a huge early run killer because there was no manip for it yet, and you just had to really hope that you didn't get absolutely annihilated by everything that was trying to destroy you.
When I made my segmented run, like the standards of speedrunning was quite low back then. We didn't have any manipulation. Like if I got hit, like who cares? I kept on going. But one thing that stopped me a lot of times was I didn't have enough money for for the boxing game.
Yeah.
And so I never like went for like money or like if I didn't get the money, I reset.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But as Dragon has quite a lot. Not a lot. Not enough rupees so far, but I think it's going to manipulate them, right?
I mean, the manip usually happens earlier on. He did get a random dig 5. I don't think that's a manip as much as just Dragon being lucky, because that's what Dragon does, but if it is a manip, it's definitely not one that I've seen before.
And there are many enemies you kill in this stunning anyway, so like, you can get a drop. And now we only need 2 more rupees, so...
Yeah. And
yeah, even in Hundo for Caesar, you don't need to do the dancing, because you can only get the boomerang or the flute, and you can get the flute in different ways, and you get the level 2 boomerang, so
yeah,
you never need to dance in any category, really. Yeah, there's the 5 drop, so Dragon is all set the money.
There you go. All good to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it means we're not seeing like the full D1 to D2 manip from any of the runners here, which does look pretty nice. It makes a lot of these rooms very nice when you're running through them here. And it does end when you get that power bracelet that Link did pick up there, the croissant of power that lets him pick up rocks and anything else he needs.
Yeah, the beetles you need to kill in that room can be very annoying. Both the beetles as well as the moblins. I meant the moblins really, but yeah, both of them are annoying. You can line up the bomb perfectly, but no, they went the other way. Or like stand in front of with the sword. So the room Dragon is in right now is a timed room. You need to do this quickly before, otherwise the chest will disappear. But like no one is going to take that long. Of course.
I think you're able to miss 2 bomb throws and still be fine. Not that I would know, not that I've missed those bomb throws ever, but I've heard you can miss 2 and then still get it. So, you know, that's always good. Luckily, even though Dungeon 2 requires a lot of bomb throws, there are a lot of guaranteed bomb drops and bomb pickups that you can be getting, so there's not too much to worry about as long as you're keeping a decent enough eye and not missing too many throws with your bombs.
Oh, Dragon missed 1 bomb.
He's fine. He's still got a bomb to spare. We're all good.
I did get a seed because a random ore is going to get a level 2 ring drop from a Gazer seed? No idea.
No, that would be rando muscle memory.
Most likely muscle memory.
Anytime you see any of the runners potentially pick up a chest that has nothing in it of value, you can assume that they're sort of working out that rando muscle memory out of their system. Or
I bet that Janglers found some new glitch with the Gazer seed that we're going to see in an hour. That'll be hype.
That would be if we were to debut world first strats here. It'd be pretty exciting.
And Janglers still need 1 more rupee.
Meanwhile,
oh,
Dragon accidentally triggering Facade. So that glitch that Tampo was talking about earlier on with the Japanese version, you are able to activate the hurt box, or the hurt box for Facade's active as soon as you enter into the room, but he won't actually activate until you get more than halfway down the screen. So you can kill him without turning him on, essentially. which is only in the Japanese version. It's not possible in the English version. And for reference as to why Dragon may have messed that up, the randomizer is only English, so you have to always fight Facade. So,
And by the way, we see the sword on A on Jangler. Can we please remove him from the screen? Thank you. No, just kidding. Yeah, if you do that, it's like no enemies will spawn and Facade won't disappear, so you can keep hitting him all the time. So it's both safer and faster. So you can see it.
Yeah, you saw PK and now Jangler both getting that fight done. And that's going to bring Dragon here, about to enter into the Dungeon 2 boss, King Dodongo, as soon as he wraps around one more time here. Dodongo, pretty straightforward. I mean, classic Dodongo fight. Throw bombs into the Dodongo mouth, pick Dodongo up, throw Dodongo onto the spikes, rinse and repeat.
There's some things you can do to manipulate him a little bit, like where he's running when he's charging at you.
Yeah.
But the timer from when he's opening his mouth is random.
Is it really?
I think it's different somehow. That's one of the things we didn't try when I was testing this game in 2011, 2012.
Right.
And that's nothing we tested, but I think I heard it later. That there's some timer with it. Slightly unclear. So yeah, that's the second dungeon from Dragon.
There you go.
And PK is about to kill the Dodongo as well here.
We'll see if... So at this point, there is a backup manip that can be done for the Heart Ring. I mean, I say it's a backup. It's not actually a backup, it's a different strat, but, you can do a hard reset to get the Heart Ring from Maple here. That Heart Ring does regenerate hearts over time, over a certain number of steps. I'm very strongly against the Heart Ring, as it is slow and it offers no benefit to your speed, because all it does is make sure you don't die, and you don't need the Heart Ring as long as you don't get hit. So just don't get hit, and then you're fine. Easy game, easy life.
Random fact: the rod takes 1 frame longer to slash compared to the sword. In case someone didn't know and no one wanted to know.
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
Huh.
That's just trick. If you, when you use the shovel, you can use the sword or the rod to get rid of the animation faster. For the sword, it says 1 frame, and for the rod, it's the same.
Huh.
Random task trivia for you.
There you go. The task trivia. The
Yeah.
knowledge. I mean, I remember... you were testing 2011, 2012. I think I picked up the game probably right after your task finished, because I remember watching the task and then watching the Paladrima Tampa races and the Paladrima world record, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I guess this is a game that people run, so I will learn this game.
I made a promise long ago to go for sub 2 hours, but I never did. And I kind of felt bad since.
You can always fulfill those promises, Tampa. No one's stopping you. You can get sub 2.
So just saw the boxing fight against Blaine there from Link's Awakening miniboss.
There you go.
Just need to give the gloves to Ricky.
Been a little bit downgraded.
Yeah.
So now we see Ricky's gloves being turned into Ricky, who is, and I quote, the worst animal companion. He is, however, the quickest animal companion, due to the fact that his Natsu region is, getting his flute is just on the route anyways.
Yeah.
Like it's on the path, so there's no going out of your way to do any separation dancing, which is what you would need to do to get Dimitri's flute, or needing to get 150 rupees, which you would need to do for Mush's route. So instead we get that glove, and we need to deal with Ricky, who sucks because Ricky does full jumps when he moves, and the screen won't transition unless Ricky's on the ground and at the edge of the screen. So you have to do some sort of weird manipulation of full jumps and shuffle movement with Ricky, where you don't quite jump, you just do a little shuffle to push him to the edge of the screen. It's incredibly obnoxious. And when he tries to jump up one gap cliffs, it makes me want to cry. So it's really just terrible.
Yeah. The Dimitri Animal Companion region is the fastest one, but it takes too long to get it, so...
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And Moosh is the best companion, but, you know, such is life, really.
I'm not really sure which one I like best between Dimitri and Moosh. I think Dimitri in general. Because you can pick him up and throw him around. That's great.
You can do that.
I've also seen him picking up the Pegasus seeds before, which makes it run faster. Ideally, they want to be using these like the entire run, more or less. But they're going to run out quickly, so they like choose when to use them. And they will also go back to the Pegasus seed tree a couple of times in the run when they get the Gale seeds to refill.
Yep, there's definitely a lot of, especially early game here, right after they get the seeds, there's a lot of very precise routing as far as when they are going to be using those seeds to make sure they will always have enough to get everything done. As we get, as Tuppa said, the Gale seeds, that sort of eases the pain as you can warp back.
And yes, Dimitri is the one you have to dance for to get.
Yeah.
And for Moosh, you have to buy it for 120 rupees. It took a long time for me to like all the people to figure out that you can open these rocks, the rock doors. With Ricky.
That is another benefit of Ricky, is that Ricky can punch bombable walls. Moosh and Dimitri have no way to get through those, so you would have to throw a bomb. But I mean, every Ricky has his quirk with that. Dimitri has his quirk with the Dimitri's able to eat ripened mushrooms, which is tech that I didn't know about until the randomizer came out. But I'm trying to think. I don't think Moosh has any. Oh, Dimitri can also eat seeds off of trees. There you go. Fun fact.
Oh, he can. I don't think I knew that. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Dimitri can eat seeds.
You saw in Dragon before that he got the ribbon. The ribbon can spawn in one of four screens. It's always the same spot where you have to dig when you get the right screen, but you don't know which one it is unless you do like R&D manipulation for it.
Let me see. PK and Jangler having just picked up the Square Jewel. That's one of the 4 jewels that the runners are going to need to get access to the Tarm Ruins area, which lets us get into Dungeon 6, as well as get the level 2 sword.
And that's a good thing about the randomizers, that you like try you get these weird setups with items and areas that you're not supposed to be used to, so you can start testing new things.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly credit, even though we're not running any percent here because there's not too many active runners in it, I would credit a lot of the any percent being even done and created kind of to the activity, not just in randomizer, but in sort of like the playing around with the game and messing around with everything, because I know that the randomizer itself was a lot of tinkering from Jangler, and I know Dren got involved in some of that, and then also just them creating their own little hacks. There's a lot of like 3 dungeon or full game hacks, and I think all that experimentation really led to discovering that new run entirely very recently.
You might see some runners like use the sword or an item after the text box. That's because you spam A and B for the text box like crazy, and you can often press A or B after the text is done to use the item.
Yeah,
so it's very by accident.
Yeah, it's very especially, and if they ever have Pegasus seeds on one of their buttons, they will probably mash the other button to try and make sure that they don't accidentally hit that Pegasus seed and ruin their count.
All right, now all but Masha has the power bracelets on A, and you can use them. That's for free. Like nothing happens if you press A. So the second season, spring. No, not spring. Summer.
Summer's main value here is going to be to dry up waterous regions, as well as grow vines that we were able to climb, which is precisely what we need to do to get into Dungeon 3. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a coincidence.
What? How convenient. Honestly, oh no.
What a nice game to give us exactly what we needed before we needed. Beautiful.
Poison Moth Slayer. Dungeon 3 is not hard, but it is kind of where the game starts to pick up a little bit as far as difficulty goes. Dungeon 1 and 2 are pretty introductory to the whole concept of playing a Zelda game, and if you've played a Zelda game before, there's not too much to be concerned about. Dungeon 3 casually is not terribly difficult, but with some of the mob manipulations that we try to do in the run, particularly the Floor Master manipulation here that you're going to see Dragon probably attempt to do in a few screens, we do sort of not artificially, but we necessarily increase that difficulty in order to try and get a little bit faster, and it can cost you some time if you mess it up. So we've seen these Floor Masters. Dragon's going to make a little bit of what may be considered unoptimal movements, sort of moving away every once in a while, because those Floor Masters are going to spawn based on, it's not, I don't think it's actually what direction Link is facing, but it is the direction that you're pressing on your D-pad at the time that the Floor Master spawns. So Link could technically be facing to the right, but if you're holding left, it'll spawn over to the left. And he does a very clean, very nice manipulation there to get through without getting grabbed or having to do an extra pause equip to pull that sword out and need to kill those Floor Masters.
Yeah, one of the things I found when I started running this game 15 years ago was that you can skip the shield. I'm not sure if this is in a guide or anything. I didn't know about it. So I just randomly used the shield on the spiky beetles, and for some reason it worked as well. I'm not sure if it was known at the time or not.
I don't know. That's weird.
I've never saw it mentioned before, at least.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if that was a thing in previous games or like anything like.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it might be on purpose, like. I guess it kind of makes sense that you can use the shovel to flip them over, but the game doesn't tell you about it though.
Right, it's definitely not. So, Dragon here picking up the dungeon item and the second best item in the game. The Rock's Feather, gonna give Link a little bit of that jump in power. In combination with the seeds, we're gonna see a lot of fun movement and fun stuff in general. It's part of what makes, in my opinion, Seasons such a fun game is that combination. The Pegasus seeds, even though they're clearly like inspired by the Pegasus boots, the way they function feels a lot more natural to me and feels better, even though you do have limited time with them. But you have a lot more freedom, and in combination with the boots, it gives you a lot more control over Link and how he's moving, as opposed to a lot of the Pegasus boot jump type tricks that you see in others.
And there's no need to like charge up the boots. You can just
right
instantly, which is also nice.
Right.
But of course, the downside is that they run out eventually, so you need to refill them all the time.
Yeah, you need to be careful about them.
So I managed to play it a bit safer before to get rid of the War Masters. Because they are mean.
Yeah. I do like these side-scrollers. These side-scrollers are weird. All those 2D sort of side-scroller rooms are interesting because that's
a frame perfect fall for
that was pretty rough.
You can just barely make it in time at home before the platform saves you. That's interesting.
And he's not gonna get the Floor Master minute.
Kind of fall down here. This room is really tricky because the keys are random movement. It's really annoying. You can literally push it down, so you don't have a lot of health there.
But the 2D side-scrollers I find super interesting because if you pause as you enter, as you're fading into the screen, it puts every moving object on there on a delay, like all the platforms and everything. So it gives you a lot of extra time to. You see it a lot in or you can notice it a lot in Dungeon 4 when they. No, PK
was just safe on the heart drop there. You got really lucky, PK.
Oh, I guess another heart drop as well. That's nice keys. Clutch keys. Helping out.
Both helping. I'll be right back. I need to let my cat inside.
Sure. But we see Dragon taking care of Omuai here, the Dungeon 3 mini-boss. Omuai, pretty chill. Just the 3 squids. You need to pull them out, turn them into kids, kill them. Each one takes 3 slashes. And then you're done. Pretty straightforward. They just bounce around. You need to be a little bit cautious of them. You could technically kill them with other things, like scent seeds or bombs. But, you know. Sword's going to be the best option here in every situation.
There we go.
Welcome back. We see Jangler getting through a lot of low hard counts. This is part of what I'm talking about too, with Dungeon 3 being not hard necessarily, but definitely racking up the difficulty a little bit, is that you don't get a lot of hard drops in Dungeon 3 until the mini-boss. So you do need to be careful about being too carefree about your movement.
And the boss itself can be quite annoying as well.
Yeah. You see Dragon fighting Makula here. One of the big...
Just going to take damage and stand still and kill him with the sword. It's...
Oh, Jangler! Okay,
Don't
that was
die.
close. That was very close. But he does get that kill and picks up the fairy to get that health refill. Dragon, clean Makula fight, getting out. Makula is one of the big places where you start to see that power ring level 2 come in clutch, because that power ring does increase your sword's damage by a value of 2. So the wooden sword, your starting sword, does start with a power of 2, so getting that extra 2 power for a damage of 4 is effectively doubling your sword power at that point in the game. Which has pretty.
But it also makes it take more damage as well.
Yeah,
so
you do also take a full
it's risky.
heart extra of damage, or half a heart of damage. So you do. I know when you route in the power ring, you do. I mean, I don't know if Sagaz does anymore, but I know that when I run, I still have points of needing to equip and unequip it based on what I'm doing, which is technically a time loss. In a perfect world, you just put that on and be good and not get hit. But it's definitely a bit of a risk. We'll see. Jangler here, clearing it out.
Kill him off as well.
Strong fight, quick fight.
Nice. And Dragon entered the animal region. This area is... I can't remember how many squares it is for the screen, but it depends on the animal you got. And Ricky's the default one, so it's the default area.
Yeah, so this is definitely not the quickest region in itself, but I was just about to say, Dragon got that Pegasus seed drop.
Yeah.
There are a lot of buzz blobs on the way, and because you can jump and punch at the same time without losing too much time, getting those kills to potentially get those extra Pegasus seed drop is pretty useful and does help adjust how many seeds you can use during. It changes where you need to save seeds. It changes your seed rating a little bit and saves you a bit of time.
Yeah.
So it's good luck for Dragon there. Not that he needs it too much with his current lead, but you know.
Oh, Massive falling down against Mouth. That's unfortunate. That's a big time loss.
Yeah. When you do fall, you
restart the entire fight.
Yeah. His health, Makula's health does reset and gotta start over. Dragon here in the Sunken City area, about to pick up Gale Seeds. Gale Seeds are going to be very nice for us to pick up, as they are going to let us teleport to any other seed tree that we've already visited.
And the other did run after the first dungeon. You saw that they went for a tree screen and just left instantly. That's so that they can watch the levels later on.
And at this point, we do get to see Dimitri. We get to see the Dodongo. You do need to have bombs here when you first meet Dimitri to give to the kids, so you can get Dimitri. If you don't have bombs, your run might die. Again, not that this has ever happened to me, but it can happen. So I've heard that you can really screw yourself over.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many bombs you have, like they will take 1 to 10, like all your bombs are gone. And we need bombs in the start of Dungeon 4. There is a chest in the dungeon that has bombs in them, but ideally you want them before that.
Yeah,
Say
so
a couple of seconds.
there won't be too much going out of the way to try to get a bomb drop, but you may see a couple extra slashes at some enemies or some grass to potentially get those pickups.
Yeah. And we will never see Dimitri again.
Goodbye, Dimitri. Side scroller getting up here to the Mount Cuckoo area. But before we're able to get into Dungeon 4, we of course, as we've needed so far, are going to pick up our next season.
Yep.
This one is going to be spring, which is going to allow us to bloom some flowers. We're going to bloom the Bloom Blasts.
And one trick here that would be so nice to have is to someone skip this cutscene with this Steely Feather.
Yeah.
I tried like every possible combination of inputs that I can come up with.
Yeah,
Trying to die as soon as landing, trying to like boost yourself the bomb or whatever, but nope.
Yeah, this is the hide and seek portion of the game where these two Subrosians do knock you over, take your feather, and give you a rock as payment. Yo, is that Dragon doing the thing? Dragon, so close. Dragon, it's so close. Just finish. Did you walk over? No, that's an A. Dragon, no.
Yeah, when I made my segment run, I made T's with the shovel.
I know.
And in Palgrima, they started doing P's, and Sword's Link did SL. Everyone is copying me. Copycat.
No, when Paladrima started doing the P's, I needed a copy out of respect, and also because my name also starts with a P.
Yeah.
So it was only right. But yeah, no, if that would be a pretty huge skip for all dungeons, is finding a way to get over the trigger box for hide and seek, because it is a pretty significant time sink that you can see Dragon still going through right now.
Another thing that would be really nice, it's when they take a feather, they give you an ore instead, and the ore is really powerful. It actually deals more damage than the Master Sword in the game. So if you get to keep it somehow, that would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure like what enemies it can damage, but it is strong, man.
So it can it's the Fool's Ore. It can so yeah, like Kappa said, it's very strong. It has a power of 10, which is twice as strong as the Master Sword's power of like swing power of 5. It can damage every enemy in the game except for basically it can damage anything the sword can except for Onox's first form.
Oh.
So because the only thing that can damage Onox's first form is a spin slash, and the ore cannot spin slash. But other than that, it is very, very strong.
Oh yeah, is the ore in randos?
Yeah, the ore is one of the items that's shuffled into the rando pool.
Oh
so
yeah.
I
never got it.
Yeah, no, it's not something you always get. It is one of those items that's a huge,
interesting, nice,
huge quality of life situation. But yeah, it can do everything. I mean, it ends up being the least useful for any bosses where the sword's not useful. So Dig Dogger, Goma, Manhandla, Onox.
But that's another thing that's great about Randomizer. Like, there's an item you get to use that you can't use otherwise in any of these areas.
Yeah.
Just pretty nice.
Definitely a nice addition to the game, just to spice it up a little bit. Let me see here. Dragon has just picked up Spring and is heading out now. And you can really see just how much time hide and seek really costs, just based on. Yo, is that Mashy? Is that Mashy with the P?
Mashy with the P.
That's what we like to see. Mashy, let's go.
The palindrome P. Yeah, like the T's idea was only like 5 digs to make a T, and those were like too simple. But I made a T in every single stream.
Yeah, I mean you have the time.
My trademark.
There's no.
Yeah, you have the time.
There's no reason not to.
And if you're low on health, like you can dig to get some health as well.
You can also dig up a fire Potabu.
Oh yeah,
which can delete your health.
Indeed. But that's why you have the Fool's Ore. You can damage them, kill them in one hit.
Yeah.
You also see all one is pick up a random rock on the right side of the stairs here. And that's for later use for a shortcut. And you're about to go down in 6.
You see Moosh, the best companion, Dragon picking him up. You did see Moosh do a little slam there to break the grass. That was for 2 reasons. One is to try and get a bomb drop. The second is that because he's done a button smash, he will avoid the text that will appear on the next screen that explains to you how to do said smash. So it's a little bit of a...
And Dragon just entered the cave there and left. That's because he wanted to save him quick enough they can get in the key.
Yeah.
That will put him at the cave entrance.
Which is honestly that wasn't a thing in 2012. That was
No, it wasn't.
that was it's so funny because it's such a simple, like, obviously you should set your save point, but that was how unoptimized the game was until, I mean, I guess depending on your view, it was unoptimized until 3 months ago when any percent got found.
The Season Fast didn't use that skip either, and that was it was done in 2012 in January, I think. We didn't do that either. With the scrubs back then.
It kind of feels all around. Before really like 2018, it feels like every speedrunning community was a little bit scrubby, and then something happened and everyone was like, okay, we should optimize games now. Hey, you see Jangler going a little bit extra there for the bomb drop and does get it, so you won't have to pick up that chest. Well, I do think Dragon will have to, because I don't think he ended up getting one here. Again, like Tampa said, there is a chest early on in the dungeon, and it's not too far out of the way, so it's not a huge time loss, but still.
You also see they didn't mention a small skip with the Cuckoo. You can pick it up, but by clipping into blocks, you can clip into them 2 pixels. You can reach the Cuckoo and grab it from the wrong side of the screen. Saves some traveling.
Yeah, we'll see Matchy do the same thing in the bottom left here if you've not yet caught it. This is also the point in the game where if we were doing an 80% run, there would be no more dungeons. This would be the point at which they would be starting to go.
The Pinky got a bomb drop from the bush. She doesn't need to get the chest that the Dragon picked up.
Now we're in Dungeon 4, and Dungeon 4 is the dungeon that I always say is the hardest dungeon because of the point in the game, because of how many hearts we have at this point in the game, for one, and just how, I don't know, I just find it personally to be the most difficult dungeon. Second only to maybe like old school D8 before D8 got
broken, yeah.
Got broken. But it's just, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of enemies that you can hit. There's a lot of just like 1 or 2 hits that you can end up taking very easily from keys as you're going through. So it is something that you want to be on the lookout for to make sure that you're not just taking huge amounts of unnecessary damage.
When I ran seasons back in Games Done Quick 2012, I actually died against Goma in the run. Because I didn't have a strat reel, I just went in front of her and spammed the sword and the but it didn't work out that well.
So this Dragon here, this staircase that he's about to go down, talking about, I don't think he does do a pause there. It extends the amount of time that lower platform stays at the bottom, which gives you can make a full pass something, but it extra time.
The Mega Man room.
Yes, the Mega Man room.
Like the block that you push in this room, like I had no idea.
I know that is definitely something that I know. Game.
It's just stupid. Like it makes the puzzle meaningless.
Right.
Like here, light the torch, so you can see where you're going. Like no, just push the block and you're done. Pathetic.
I think when I first the monitor, my monitor didn't have the correct lighting settings. So I couldn't actually see the ground at all for the longest time, and so I was just I would watch the video I would watch Pal's record run and just try to copy it, and then at some point I got a new monitor and I was like, "What? Well, you can there's a ground that you can see here this whole time? This is ridiculous."
Yep. Yeah, back when you're playing this game on a Game Boy, Game of Color, you can't see anything unless you have a Game Boy Advance SP or something.
Right. So
all 4 are in the dungeon right now. And this dungeon has such a great great music track.
It also has one of the easiest mini bosses.
Oh yeah, I get him.
Which is also, I mean, it's one of the easiest bosses that you should never die to, but it's also a mini boss that I have died to. So it's pretty tragic, really.
I like when Jangler stands there like he's probably hoping like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. As you can't predict what they're doing.
Yeah. Keys are one of the big things that roll RNG on every frame that they're moving, so it makes it hard to do.
It's every second frame, I think.
every second frame.
I think if my memory serves me right, it's every second frame.
Every second frame, which makes it a huge pain to try and do any kind of long-term manipulation in any room. So it has keys in it. Oh, PK! No!
He got a potion!
He had the potion, so he's saved. He was the only one.
Oh, wow.
Dungeon 4, I mean, it is a place where that potion does often get used, I've found. So that's, I mean, it's not bad that he's held on to it for that long. Does save him a trip of having to run all the way back, which is definitely good. But he's going to play a little bit more carefully from here on out to make sure that he doesn't get any unnecessary deaths.
I didn't pay attention to his controller camera, like if he was raging or something spamming buttons like crazy when he fell down.
Yeah, that's how it feels anytime that you fall into spikes or get somewhere you're not supposed to. Just your hands start wildly moving to try and save something. Dragon picks up the dungeon item here, Dungeon 4, the slingshot. That slingshot is pretty key. I mean, obviously, it is very useful for the Goma fight here, because this is another fight that developed since I was running this back in 2012, where traditionally you have to cut off that claw, and then you have to deal with the RNG chaos that is Goma without her claw, because she does not want to stay still. But it was discovered, I don't know by whom, but discovered that if you're lined up correctly, you can actually hit Goma while she still has her claw on with the slingshot. Actually, you don't technically need the slingshot, but and
you technically don't need to line up, but it's easier to time it. You can get like when she lifts up the claw, you can hit her.
Yeah, you can hit her anytime she lifts up, but if you're lined up, you can hit her without her lifting up, which makes the fight very fast. Dragon here going for this absolutely garbage jump that I hate.
Yeah. I can't even remember if I did it in my segmented run. I think I did, yeah.
The keys make that jump so terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's really bad.
There's a lot of back and forth in this dungeon. There's need to revisit a couple of areas.
Yeah. A lot of save and quits.
Yeah.
But Dragon does have a decent amount of hearts here coming into the last. What strat he uses for the gap. I didn't know about the gap clear. I didn't think until very recently. I know it's slower, but I also just one of those things. Sometimes cool is slow.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. This from here. I can click on. There we go. Two cycle.
Yeah.
Two cycle. Not bad at all. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Maybe he's getting a heart. I don't know. If you meant Dragon.
Or sorry, yeah. I don't know what Dragon was doing right there. Gets the jump. Nice.
I'm trying to pay attention to all of them, but it's kind of difficult.
yeah. No, I. Going the Zold.
Oh, that was close to Jangler. Almost missed the launch. But he has some time. Oh, Dragon is low in health here for the fight.
At all. As I believe each slam. But you see Dragon's line up here. Pretty consistent fight. You do need to be you have to be lined up on both the Y and X axis, because if you're too far away, Goma will still block.
So when you slash the claw off, Goma actually has less health than with the claw, but it's hard to hit her.
Yeah.
So this is more safe.
Yeah, I believe it's when she has the claw on, she has those, you saw the very straightforward movements, and she keeps her eye open, which is the big thing. But she does have 15 hits that you need to get with the seeds. when you hit the claw off, she gets very erratic, but you only need to get 5 hits. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. Which I wonder if... I wonder why. I'm curious to know what the...
I guess like the claw is part of the health somehow, and like you damage the claw, you damage her as well.
Oh.
I don't think they share the same... I never looked into the memory address for it that I can remember when we were doing the test. And Peaky again getting the stupid jump as well.
Gets it quite nicely.
No, it's really like.
Dragon just picked up that Pyramid Jewel. That's the third one. No, second one. Of the 4 that he's going to need. Which means he needs to head to Dungeon 5 now. Dungeon 5 is pretty easy to get to, but is going to require us to get that last season that we've not yet gotten, the Autumn season, which means one more trip to Subrosia.
And one thing to note, when they are doing a save and quit, they're actually doing a save and continue and then soft resetting the game. And that can be a bit scary, as you can soft reset before you actually save the game.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the... It's a popular thing to happen. I know that one of the other runners in this race, Mighty, has... I've been in the stream for 1 or 2 pretty tragic Mighty soft resets without saving, so...
Yeah. That's another thing I did at my Game Time Quick Run.
Oh no, Jangler!
Ouch! Okay.
Jangler!
That cost a lot of time.
That's actually really bad, because Jangler weirdly was on like PB pace. That's gonna be a rough time loss. You see PK there in the bottom right doing the Wizrow boost to get over the gap. Is also gonna pick up some safety hearts here from those 2 pots to try and avoid that death as well. That sucks.
I know Jangler and Masha are pretty much equal.
Yeah.
In time here.
But PK taking 2nd place on the restream as Mash and Jangler now need to very, very neck and neck actually.
You have in total 8 runners in this race, so we only see 4 here because too many to fit the screen.
So Dragon here picked up Fall. He did have to pick up that Bomb Flower to give to the Subrosians to blow up the rocks.
Okay, Peak is done with Goma now at least.
Good solid fight.
And Dragon just got his final season.
There we go. It's a little bit interesting that you get all 4 seasons so early, just one after each dungeon, essentially, early on here. But at the same time, there's never really a... That is one of the things that I think people have mentioned before, that it would be nice if seasons had a dungeon that was more centered around the seasons, like an outdoor kind of dungeon.
Oh yeah, that would be quite nice.
Because you do have the Tarm Ruins area, which has the Lost Woods where you're using the seasons, but outside of that, there's no real point at which you need to use the seasons in a dungeon, which would have been cool if Dungeon 6 sort of played on that a little bit or something, or any dungeon really.
That's one thing that actually Aegis did with the Mermaid's Cave.
Yeah.
As you need to travel back and forth in time, and if you do things in the past, it's going to change the dungeon in the future. That's a really nice concept. I liked it a lot. It's
a great concept, but I've also played I think it's Dungeon 5 in Aegis, or it might be Dungeon 6. It's 6 and yeah. But I've also played the dungeon, and it's confusing.
It is confusing, yeah, but I love it so much. It's great. So, and this is Dungeon 5 now, though. Unicorn Cave.
Yeah. Unicorn Cave is a weirdly easy dungeon to have come right after Dungeon 4. There's not too much. It's very like compact and small, and you make a lot of like back and forth trips in places based on when you get the Magnet Glove, because we do get that Magnet Glove pretty early on. But it's a fairly, I don't know, it feels small as a dungeon altogether.
Then you have the mini boss from, as I like to call it, from Shikidamana.
Yeah.
I didn't look up what the enemy's called because I can't remember.
Saiger. Oh, with the mini boss, yeah, Saiger.
Yeah, Saiger. Like we just find his name in the Shikidamana as well.
Yeah. Magnet Glove is.
Oh, whatever.
Magnet Glove is also a cool item because of the Rock's Feather, because there are points where you can use the Magnet Glove to basically jump off of nothing.
Yep.
Because of how the game thinks about the fact that you need to be able to have time to switch between north and south so you don't fall immediately. So you just saw Dragon buffer a jump out of thin air there using the Magnet Glove. So it's very, very cool stuff to see. Dungeon 5 also has my favorite side-scroller area in the game on the way to the boss key, because
I like when it dropped when it jumped and dropped straight down to that's my favorite part about it.
Yeah.
It looks cool when it goes fast.
Yeah.
And that's actually where I did in my games like quick run. When I got the big key, I was supposed to save and quit, or like save and continue and reset, but I reset too early, so I didn't save.
Yeah.
And that sucked. Stitch from Rat Up Dragon, you have to kill. You can kill him with this in any order you want, but you need to open the chest in order to kill them.
Ooh, that's a Pegasus Seed drop as well.
If the armor statues move around like a lot, it can be confusing, like which one you kill in what order.
Yeah, especially when they
are
are able to like cross over each square, so they can lap over each other and then move out, and it can be kind of a little very confusing. Especially if you're doing it casually and you just run into the room and activate all 4, and then you're just like, oh no, this is not good.
Yep.
There you go again, Dragon. You see him walking over thin air for a little bit there. Those rotating magnet hubs, I guess if you want to call them, really extend the amount of time that you can just hang out.
Yeah, those are completely free. Like you can walk in little frames and make a jump. It's so good.
It's very, very nice.
Link's Awakening also has a jump in mid-air glyphs, which you can do with the hook shot, but then you only have 1 frame.
Yeah, that one, in seeing the Link's Awakening, that one looks a lot harder to do.
And that's not another glyph I found many years ago. Because I found a way to skip the Power Bracelet level 2, the task we did for Link's Awakening. And you need that one to skip to get the Rooster. But as I skipped the Bracelet, like, I had to skip the Rooster as well, so I had to find a way to do it. And it was just... I was just randomly testing things, and I jumped out, spammed the hook shot, then used the feather, and I got it my first try. So like, oh nice, this is possible to do. So I managed to keep the Rooster.
That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing ever, is when you do something extremely difficult, but just do it first try on your first time, and you're like, oh yeah, no, this is easy, and then you just can't do it. You're like, oh no.
At that point, like, at least I know what I did. Like sometimes you can do things like you have no idea what you did even, and you can never repeat it again. like how? Like I know this is possible. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how. But that was a great feeling when I got that.
No, that's yeah.
And even though it's 1 frame that you have to do minimum 3 times, like RTA people do it in runs.
Yeah.
There are a couple of backups and safe ways to do it. So this mini boss can be quite annoying as well with his patterns. If you don't know the patterns, you can take a lot of damage from him.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're doing, it's kind of safe.
Yeah, there's also a way to kind of get a quicker kill if you are able to get those. Essentially, if you can do a spin slash and 2 slashes, and then if you can, on the second, whenever Tiger comes out of one of its cycles, if it damages you, it extends the amount of time that it stays active, so you can get an extra slash in. So if you have the power ring and take the damage, you can do a 2 cycle on Tiger, which is very nice. But it is a little bit tight to get that done properly.
In the in the fire room that the dragon went to, normally you have to walk around to spawn a ball to use to protect yourself. But you can just take damage and jump over it.
Yeah, which is great because it allows you to skip over one of the worst rooms in the game, which is a room with 4 Magunesus that have corners in the have like holes in the corners, so you can't corner them.
Awful.
It's pretty messed up.
When I did the task for this game, in the fire room, we were low on health in that room, so we couldn't take any damage. Like, and I didn't know, like, oh, can you even do this room without taking damage? But you can jump between the fires.
You can get that'd be. I want to see that in RTA. That would be.
Oh yeah. $100 if I don't want to guess it. Like, I don't think anyone can do it. It's incredibly precise.
Yeah.
But it's possible, and it was great. So it kind of saved the task, otherwise we had to redo it to get more help somehow.
You see Dragon just absolutely destroyed Digdogger there. Quick one cycle.
Hmm.
Very nice, just very nice fight. Digdogger can be kind of annoying depending on how the little Digdoggers, the mini doggers, split up when he does get broken up. You do want to try and push him into preferably a corner, because if you push him into a corner, you've eliminated two pretty significant cardinal directions that they can go in, as opposed to if you break them up in the middle of the room where they just have free reign over everything. So at this point, we're five essences in. We don't have any more seasons, chat. So we need to get into Dungeon 6. And instead of picking up seasons, we need to pick up jewels now. We did pick up 2 already. We need to hit 2 more. We're going to get one from this old man here that does a quick check on your essence count to make sure you have enough to prove yourself worthy. Yeah. And then we're going to go and get the second one, or our final one, from the Black Beast Island in the western coast, the beach area here, which is really the only reason. It's the only reason that we pick up mystery seeds where we do, instead of just getting them in Dungeon 8 from Fright Polar. Oh no, we don't do Fright Polar. It's the only reason we pick up mystery seeds. Sorry, that was 2012 me. That's what just happened there. I was like, Fright Polar. Nope.
Yeah, the mystery seeds. There can be a backup for you if you like. Is the dragon he's spamming right now, because it changes between what kind of effect it has. So to avoid having to re-equip the item, he just spams it until it gets an Ember Seed effect.
It does.
But it needs to use it for the question mark here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does occasionally mean that you get 19 hits into your mystery seeds and have not gotten the light off, which is a very bad feeling. Not that I've ever had that happen, but it does suck a lot.
And it can also save you, like in case you have no more Ember Seeds, you can get lucky and use the mystery seeds to get it instead.
Yeah, the mystery seeds are a little bit weird in that way because they can light torches, but they can't burn trees. They can't burn any of the trees, so they have a weird burn functionality.
And we had the best music area in the game. The Tom Ruins theme.
You know, people say that. I don't know about that.
Oh, come on, you have a better one. Come on.
It's this one.
Spit it out.
Here's the thing: is that whenever I think about seasons, all I think about is the amount of times that I've reset my save state on HSS skip and just hear that and I want to cry. So anytime that's all I ever think about is just that noise, that constant up pitching of me wanting to die.
That's fair.
But here, Tom Ruins, we have this is sort of the closest thing that we have to a seasons puzzle as far as like using the seasons goes, where they do need to manipulate the world a little bit in this confined space to progress forward.
See if we can get the one cycle, the big dogger.
Very nice.
And Jang is on his way there as well, and Match is about to get the big key. Ooh, Jang takes some damage here. Can be scared. I guess he's going to pick up some health for the boss here. As the ball of damage Digdogger with can damage Link as well a lot. So you need to be a bit careful.
But using that, learning how to control that Magnet Ball in Digdogger's room the Spike Ball is very, very unintuitive. Like, it doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, so you have to get a lot of practice in to sort of get used to it. So we see Dragon here picking up the...
Oh wow, that's a great for one cycle, Jangla. That was so...
That was very clean.
Very clean. The small guys when they jump off are like running up the random positions. And he gets quite lucky with them there.
That was very, very nice. So he's very clean D5, out of D5. Dragon picked up the Noble Sword and is now going to make his way around the Lost Wood once again to get out of the Tarm Ruins area. Or sorry, out of the Lost Woods, back into the Tarm Ruins to get into Dungeon 6.
I've seen some people ask about Digdogger, like, can they hit the small guys when they jump out from the big one at once? But sadly you can't, because they're mid-air and you need to wait for them to land before you can start damage them.
There is...
you can't slash them with the sword as well, but that takes, I don't know how many hits, but...
yeah, I know we did do... I know when we started using the rings, the Power Ring level 2, Sagaz and I sort of looked a little bit into using the sword to kill them, if it was just going to be potentially faster, but I think it ended up still taking like a spin slash and a swing to kill them, so it was still slower for most situations. But yeah, if you have the Fool's Ore though, Fool's Ore one-shots them, so you know.
Can you jump in mid-air? With
Yeah, you
PS4.
can, yeah, I believe so.
Yes, I don't think I tried that I can remember.
I don't know.
Oh, Nitro's got five gold in a row, it said, in the RC channel. So I guess Nitro has a good run going.
Yo.
Too bad we can't see it. But Sweden! There's only Sweden in the race.
Sorry, Dragon just golded his entrance into D6 split, which is very
Oh,
funny.
I see.
Got that 0.4 second save on the entrance there.
Nice.
I feel bad for I feel bad for Jingler's death here. Jingler's on like a pretty
yeah.
solid run for his time,
Indeed.
until he got that death to Goma.
Yeah, it cost me like 2.5 minutes, pretty much.
Yo, this puzzle, or not this puzzle, but this room sucks to optimize that Dragon's in right now. It's such a pain.
And this is a nice small key skip. If you use a save and quit, you can reset the spinner in the main room here.
Yeah.
So
So
you
you're
have to
gonna
walk around against extra rooms, but
maybe see him walk by this key block. He's never gonna open that up because of that save and quit. It's very nice. It also allows you to avoid. Just go. The key room or the key that you need to get to do that normally is like super out of the way. So it's a very
Yeah.
good skip. That jump right there is fun and also kind of sucks sometimes if you fall. It's one of those jumps where if I fall once, I'm gonna fall at least 2 more times, and then I'll be fine. But
yeah, and there's like the blocks are disappearing as well. So
Yeah,
you many times you need to exit and re-enter.
what we got here? See if he pulls out. He's gonna pull out the Gale Seeds to just get rid of these. Oh, that's a waste of a seed. I forget what the exact Gale count is that you want to have to make sure that you're fine, but
Let's see, you want to use 2 more of this dungeon for the
yeah,
rest there, and then... Oh, no, yeah.
I know. And there's a lot of warping around, but I don't know exactly.
You can get a lot of seeds from these guys when you kill them, the armor statues.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dragon does. I don't, but yeah. Oh,
No seed drop so far. Not just lucky.
but here we see the Magic Boomerang, our dungeon item for D6. The Magic Boomerang does, for one, display that the items, as I sort of mentioned earlier, the items in Seasons aren't progressively upgraded. So not getting the level 1 Boomerang doesn't have any effect on us getting level 2 Boomerang, which means that we were able to skip that Boomerang early on.
You see here that all the runners are picking up the Noble Sword in the Lost Woods. Normally in these cell games you have to finish the trading quest to get the item. But the trading side quest only tells you how to get it. You can always get it anyway.
Yeah, it's a nice counter from Ages where you actually do have to go through the entire trade process to get the broken sword.
I mean, how many times have we proven that Ages is the worst game here?
Hey, listen. I just like to mention it every once in a while. Just bring up little things.
Yeah.
No, but it is one of the reasons that there is no pickup of the Noble Sword in Ages, is that it requires a very drawn out process of going through that. Here, because we just need to get that code, and the code is the same across every save file of the game. You don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And it happens to be pretty close to on the way to Dungeon 6.
I never timed getting like how much time it takes to get, and how much time it saves. Neither for the tasks on my old run, so like I have no idea how much it saves actually.
Yeah, I know that it is. I believe Z-Master's record, or Z-Master's run, his PB, he doesn't pick up, because he uses the level 2 ring, but he doesn't pick up the Noble Sword. And I think that when you get to that point, that it's technically, like, a little bit faster to not pick it up once you have the sword, but it is one of those things where it does, having the extra damage does make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a lot more convenient to kill enemies, and it's safer in general to have it, so...
Yeah.
It's really nice. So the mysterious figure that Jangler saw at the beginning of the dungeon here is actually Twinrova, but you never know that unless you play the linked game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did she?
Oh, did they show up in the?
Yeah. Right when you go to break open the gate, they do. She shows up and is like, "Ha ha ha ha! You've been fooled. We were not caring about Onyx at all. We were distracting you while we revived Denon. Ha ha!"
I still blame that the last time I saw that path that run was in the end episode. Don't see that in the episode. My excuse. But yeah, that's right. They do show up in the end. Yeah.
Dragon here, fighting Vire, D6 mini boss. D6 mini boss in both ages and seasons. Does a very nice fight here. Gets, I believe, a 4 cycle. Does take 3 spin slashes to get the kill. It's a little bit tricky because Vire will run away as you approach it. So the method that we tend to use is sort of you jump and release your swing so that it comes down and swings around before Vire gets a chance to move. It's a little bit finicky, but you can get it pretty consistently, and it really improves the fight as opposed to trying to wait for them to charge in, or you could like throw bombs, but that would be terrible.
There's a stupid RNG button before. You have a 50% chance to get it or not get it. And Dragon got unlucky, so to reset the room or fight enemies, and leaving the room is slightly faster than killing the enemies and try again.
Yeah. The record for that, I believe, is held by Sagaz with 16 tries.
Oh, holy crap!
which is really insane because it's just a true 50-50, and you just
That's so good.
Yeah, but I know he sent it to the Discord in 2 clips because it wouldn't fit into one clip. It was too long.
This was a small task trick here you can do. As with the Magic Boomerang, you can make it go diagonally between the blocks. So you can hit the switch from the different side. But it's too precise for RTA, I think. I'm not sure if anyone has done it or tried to do it properly.
I don't know.
But, I remember people were discussing it a while back.
Yeah, I know that it had been mentioned, but I don't think anyone's given it a shot yet. Speaking of the task fight not looking like the RTA fight, the task, the Manhandler looks like a joke in task, but in this,
you have no idea how much I struggle. Each eye, they can open a different amount of frames, and I need to open the longest time for all the eyes.
Right.
We also have low on health and everything. Like I tried for like days, weeks, I think, to do this fight, but it's so good right now. I love it so much. It's my highlight for the test for sure.
It's definitely something. If you haven't seen the test, that alone is something that, especially after you watch these runners do it, if you go and take a look at that fight when it's done as perfectly as possible, it's insane. Because Manhandla's my second least favorite boss after Onox, but Manhandla is so hard to do well, especially because it's one of those fights where you get. For one, Manhandla's whatever mouth is closest to you won't open, so you need to like finagle your movement to make it kind of not in front of you to open up all the mouths. Yeah. And then it's just trying to get all of your hits in, and it's one of those fights where you can get the first 3 heads and be like, oh, this is a good fight, and then you just make one bad movement or one missed throw, and you're just stuck there for an extra 15-20 seconds trying to get that last head, and it hurts so bad.
But everything that came up to that fight, I had to manipulate the fight before entering as well. So a lot of keys I think I had to delay a few frames with the keys.
Dragon.
What did I do? I missed it.
Dragon just went to the beach without going to the pirates.
Oh wow!
So to get to Dungeon 7, we are going to need to go to that beach. However, before we do so, we need to touch base with the skeleton pirate who has lost their rusty bell, their pirate bell. But to unlock our worthiness, so to unlock the beach, to unlock the skeleton person who is blocking the beach, we have to talk to the captain first.
That's too bad. There's also the use of the boomerang trick, where you can use it to go through diagonal walls.
Yeah,
as if when you go up to down the stairs, I guess, you're in the perfect position to just hold up left and throw the boomerang to get it through. That
is one where at the start, when I was first learning the clip, I was like, I would start out, move around, and then try to throw it, and I was like, and I found out you can just walk in and hold it, and I was like, what? What do you mean? This is ridiculous. This is easy.
When I made my speedrun, I used a Hora Digital controller, which is the SNES-looking GameCube controller.
Yeah.
And my D-pad was kind of broken in a way, as when I first pressed up, it sometimes tapped it to press it twice. So doing the part to get into the sand area here, desert, you have to re-press up several times. And it often hit me like too many times. I had to reset constantly. It was so frustrating. That's what bad controller gets you. Oh, lucky for Dragon here. Got the best
First
position
try.
for the bell.
So similar to the Star Wars, there are 4 spots that the bell can be in, and they're set spots on the beach.
Yeah.
And it is random. You can manip it. You can do a manip to get first try every time. I know that I believe Sagaz and I want to say Stanner have a manip that they do from the bell all the way through the first part of Dungeon 7, I believe.
Oh, nice.
But it is, yeah, it sucks to not get.
As for all these manipulations to work, you have to have some way to reset the RNG completely. And for most games, when you save and quit, all values are going to be reset as to default. So you know what starting value you have, so you can know that, oh, I only need to slash 5 times here. So you know what the outcome you get, and it's always the same.
Yeah, as long as you're consistent with your mashing through the title screen, because that title screen does roll the RNG as well. So you gotta be.
But as was mentioned before, when you slash the sword, you can hear the pitch noise to hear what kind of RNG value you have.
It's definitely a nice audio cue to have. PK going through the Manhamla fight along with Jangler right now. Both of them a little bit. I mean, this just looks like a classic Manhamla fight on both sides. Honestly, it's just kind of it's tough.
And you can lose lots of health here. Like, they both had full health in entering, but like damage stacks up quickly.
It's one of those. It's one of those fights too where it really, when you think about the game in general, the quicksand or the moving sand it's not really that big of a deal. But in this fight, it's like the most annoying thing. Ever.
Oh, Pickus lost lots of health here. Only one eye left though, but needs to be a bit careful.
And he doesn't have the potion, so he's gonna want to make sure that he doesn't take a death. Oh, that was an interesting hit.
Nice.
I don't know about that hit. I don't know. I like to call a replay on that because
I call it whack.
I've definitely done closer hits and not gotten it, so I'm calling BS on this. This is
but he has this sword on B, so it's fine.
We'll allow it. We'll
go back to like Jangler before with sword. He's got sword on the beat right now. I guess you heard what they said about banning him. It's all good now. And I see Messi coming up to Mahandra as well.
Yeah, and he already has the full heart, so no need for the fairy grab.
Yeah.
And we have Dragon in the cutscene here. This would be the closest thing that there is to a real bathroom break in the run, except for the fact that you have to mash the text. So
yeah, you need to use a wireless controller, and it will work out fine.
You just take it with you and just mash air.
Yeah.
But it's people also really like this music. I know that that's a popular one amongst the people.
It's a nice tune, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. I don't know. Oh, Mashy that was sick. There was the last 2 hits on Manhamla there.
I missed that one, crap.
No, it was very, very quick.
We see that both Peaky and Diagner knows to go to the pirates first.
Saving some time on Dragon. Oh, also, that was... Jangler got a solid gold split on that. D6.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
Looking at his splits now, he saved 1:10 on his previous. That's huge.
I'm messing up the pattern here a bit, though.
Yeah. He has a... I mean, stuff to do. Off it's time to save.
No, I should have done.
Tampa has decided to grace us with some background.
It's going to be like annoying when you have sound from screens if you want to, and I can play the oral thing. Ah, Dragon's ahead of Nitro. No, don't let Sweden lose. Don't you dare.
Dragon
Nitro,
entering
please.
into D7. D7 favorite dungeon. It's also a very difficult. So it has the best item in this game, every Zelda, which is very exciting to see. Really.
This one has a nice sequence break in the beginning.
Yeah.
As well.
So normally when those torches get warped to the beginning of the dungeon, and you're expected to, I say kill, to defeat monsters in order to keep those torches lit so you can get through. However, you are able to just barely make it through the staircase by doing some nifty little jumps here. that we're gonna see Dragon pull off right now. It's technically not a super tight window. You have a decent amount of time, but it's also it's also not linear. There's so many diagonal movements and so many little jumps that you need to be making that even though it's not frame perfect, it is a lot more complex. And sometimes, depending on the day, it feels harder than HSS skip, because HSS skip is just holding in a direction and pushing the button, whereas this is a lot more involved.
I guess Pika doesn't have mystery seeds. Okay, got one now.
There you go.
No, he's
What's he
farming
going
for something.
Is he farming for Pegasus seeds? I don't know about that play.
I guess it was, yeah. I got full now, though.
That's interesting. Huh. But yeah, so now in D7. D7 is very scary. It's a lot of complex jumps. It is difficult in general, but you also have to be considering that if you do die at any point before getting to the mini boss, and the mini boss is very late in the dungeon, you do have to do post skip again if you've already done it, because the game doesn't think that you've somehow beaten the Poe just by getting into the staircase. It still knows that you have not. So those jumps that Dragon just did are my least favorite jumps in the game.
Yeah,
they suck. They suck.
And a fun note about the pot in the tile room there before the Armor's Night. Those are only pots in game which can have 2 items in them, because they always drop hearts in them, but they can also manipulate an item as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's I found out about that very recently. I was like, that's super weird. Dragon did take a fall there. That's time loss. Let's go, Jangler. Let's go, PK. Let's go
Nitro. I'm on the route for Nitro now. I need my Swede at the top.
Team Sweden.
yeah, Team Sweden.
Part of the so Dragon didn't do it. I don't think any of the runners do the D7 manip that are in this race, but part of that D7 manip is that it holds all the way to the point that Dragon is at now. And part of what it does is it puts the Magu Nessus in a very good spot, and it also guarantees the closest Armos stand to be the statue, because that statue is random, which one is the non-hostile one. So that manip does actually have the potential to save you a lot of time, because the Magu Nessus are absolute garbage. And on top of that, the Armos statues can be a huge pain. But it is also very difficult to hold, particularly because of the keys in that are in D7, that are in that platform room rather.
I've tried ways to skip the second ghost fight as well, as I did with the first one, but even with the swimmer ring, which can swim faster, there's no way to make it in time. Yeah,
what you can do, say if you have the cape in the swimmer's ring, you see the last use of that, or another use of that magnet glove hopping off of thin air. We have this little jump here, which you need to do a little sword fling to get the lineup for, but you can actually make this jump with just the Pegasus seeds and the feather, and we get the best item. Best item in the game. This alone is why Seasons is the superior game. Just the Pegasus cape is just beautiful. Just what a wonderful item.
Rock's cape. Not Pegasus cape. What are you talking about?
What a time to be alive. But yeah, so the Pegasus cape, obviously it gives
it's a Rock's cape.
Rock's cape, sorry. I combined them because
who's this noob commentator with me? I need a new partner.
I know, I've never played this game before. The Rock's cape, sorry.
Well, I guess with use with the Pegasus seeds, it's kind of
I mean that's why I say it, is because you always use it with the Pegasus seeds at this point. Because when using the Rock's cape and the Pegasus seeds together, you get the ability to do the sickest trick in the game, sickest trick break, without actually being a glitch, because no matter what people might say, HSS skip is not a glitch, nor will it ever be a glitch. Because it's just it's not at all. But so it's just a really, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it, and it just feels good. It goes back to that, what I was talking about with regards to the Pegasus seeds feeling good with Link's control, and having that added control of not only being able to jump once, but being able to jump twice, and you have a pretty decent amount of control with the Rock's cape.
Jangler failing the poo skip. Post
There
it.
you go. So he's gonna go for it again. That is unfortunate time loss. Especially, yeah, that sucks. We're gonna see here.
Oh wait, there wasn't a. Wait. Never mind. I'm confused. I was looking at Jagger first, and I went on to PK. Like, but this is why did you not save this somehow? I was so confused. Yeah.
So we see Dragon going for boss key, Jangler trying for post skip 2, PK trying for post skip 1. Okay, there we go. Jangler getting the second try. Still got it. We're good. That is going to keep his lead over Mashy and PK on the restream here, which is good on his end. And we see PK gets it first try. Very solid work there. And we'll see if Mashy gets it first try as well. I am, oh, come on. Oh, no. It looked like his seed ran out. It looked like he tried to do that jump without resetting his Pegasus seed, which is never a good look.
Yeah, it's risky. Okay, he's opting to not do the post skip at all.
Yeah, it's fair at this point.
It does. He needs to get an extra small key.
Yeah. As Dragon enters into the Gleeok fight, which is much easier than Legend of Zelda Gleeok.
Yeah.
As you have this wonderful thing called the Z-axis, which just allows you to jump over all of Gleeok's attacks.
Indeed.
And take care of the fight with a lot of ease. Ooh, I don't know. Dragon not skipping that 7th heart container. I don't know how I feel about that. He's gonna pick up the 7th essence and then head now, needing to make his way to Dungeon 8. Dungeon 8 is a beast. And it's one of those things where HSS skip can make or break a lot of runners. I know Dragon's typically pretty consistent and on point with his D7 or D8 HSS skips, but I don't know. I've often refer to HSS as being a mental RNG skip or a mental RNG trick, because it's just one of those days where, because of how trash Oracle's buffering is, it really feels like if your brain just doesn't want you to do it, no matter how much you practice it. There are times when I go in completely cold and get it first try, and then I will practice for like a half hour before a run, and then get in, and then not be able to do it after like 15 tries. And I'm like, I don't understand why this is the way it is.
And for the longest time, like I've been trying this so much, like frame by frame when tassing. As when you task, you can just pit walk in the game, which I got to RTA. And like I said to everyone, like, no, this is impossible. Like I've tried this frame perfect. Like you can't. Oh, Jangler, what? If we got a key?
What key?
If we got the keys? I don't think you got the armor's key.
Oh no.
One key short.
Is it the Armos key?
Do we really have to push them? I think so, yeah. As I got the one with the drop down.
Yeah, one of those two.
He.
That sucks.
Just not happy right now, most likely. And the dragon jumped over a lot of holes there before. Normally you have to make it so that the leaves are covering the holes with dirt.
Yeah.
But the first time I played the game, I didn't know that you can do that, so I thought jumping was a tethered way of doing it.
I think so too. I think that's a lot of people. That's the one thing whenever in the game come in that have not done the speedrun before, and you tell them that, they seem to be very surprised, because they're all like, "What? You were supposed to do this? It took me forever, but I had to do the jump thing. I thought you had to jump." I was like, "Yeah." It's definitely one of those things that a lot of people casually doing that speedrun tech, you know. That doesn't happen quite as much with HSS skip. You don't hear so much that people accidentally did HSS skip.
No way. Okay, Jangler got his keys now.
There, we're good. Everything's fine.
Cost many minutes.
It's a pretty significant time loss. It is going to put him behind both PK and Mashy now.
Not necessarily Mashy. Mashy hasn't got the rock cape yet.
Yeah, I mean, he could die here. That's true. But he's gonna be, as long as he doesn't mess these jumps up, he should be gaining here in just a moment.
PK failing the jumps here to clear the holes. There we go. And Mash setting up the jump towards the Rock's Cape. Yeah, so PK and Jane are pretty much tied right now. Oh, Mash fell down. It sucks.
That's not going to be good, especially with the amount of hearts that Mashley has. He wants to be very careful about not falling into the down here. And he's going to need to watch out for the keys in the next room because those keys and the spikes can absolutely ruin you.
One thing that always annoyed me that even if you're mid-air, the platform is still carrying.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense, but yeah, what who cares?
it's super obnoxious.
That was a good jump though for Massive to get it.
Yeah, does get it. Dragon inside Dungeon 8. We're gonna see HSS skip coming up here shortly. HSS skip. I'm gonna explain it. This is how I've always explained it, Tom. But you can correct me. But I think I'm mostly right. Is that HSS skip is double frame perfect and it's sub-pixel dependent. It's a cape boosted or it's a bomb boosted cape jump. Sub-pixels, as far as like for simplicity's sake, a sub-pixel is if you're thinking about pixels as like a graph, like graph paper, and you think about it marked as sort of like 1, 2, 3 on the lines. A sub-pixel is kind of offsetting your chart so that you're on 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and you're still incrementing in the same amount, but your starting point's a little bit off of the normal, or I say normal, it's just a different one.
See. He's got it.
First try.
Nice.
So,
oh, sorry, cats. Break out my cat.
All that amounts to is a really easy trick that Dragon gets first try. Is really what that comes out to.
So everything he did before was to set up his exact position and sub-pixel position.
Yeah. So by falling in, pressing, you set yourself on sub-pixel. At that point, you just need to pull a bomb and hold right. And when you are throwing the bomb, both of your jumps are going to be frame perfect.
And that skips half the dungeon. The minibus, a lot of small keys.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah. Skips the worst mini boss in the game. I am.
I don't think it's too bad. Like when you know that you can throw the ice back at him, it's a really quick fight.
Yeah.
But originally I didn't know that, so I just switched between the seeds all the time, and it takes so long time to do it.
A lot of difficulty comes too from the fact that there's no ferry directly outside of Fripolar, so all the damage that you take getting to Fripolar leaves you with not always a lot, and then you end up taking 1 or 2 bad movements and getting hit. But at this point, I mean, the rest of D8 is pretty much just an execution thing. There's not too much in the way of danger. Outside of the worst blue Wizrobe that has existed in this game ever, this blue Wizrobe seems to know exactly where you want to go at all times and will try to ruin you.
Also, a small thing, I didn't know that in the Japanese version there are no cracks in the wall where you bumped in the wall.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before.
In the English version, you have these 2 nice X's on the wall that indicate, hey, there's a bumpable wall here. But Japanese did not have that. They had to give a little bit of help to the American children.
It kind of looks like 2 people standing up with after these they're like small white circles almost on the walls, and those are pretty much the heads.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They made it easier in the non-Japanese versions to make it clear where you're going. I guess you can see the when you're in this room, the dragon just went past. You can see the cracks on the other side, I think, or like that. See that there's a room there.
Yeah, you get an idea of it.
That blue Wizrobe, he wants it.
That blue Wizrobe, I hate it. It's the worst.
Hi, Carmen. Welcome to Seasons.
It is the absolute... That blue Wizrobe right there is why my TV is not sub 141. I'm very upset about it. He hit me while I was walking off, and I watched as my ice chunk flew off of the screen.
Oh yeah,
and then wanted to cry. The Oracle games are great. I think the Oracle games are arguably the most underrated Zelda games, especially just in the 2D community. There's a lot of love for Link to the Past and LADX.
There's no love at all for Four Swords.
Well,
because when you say Four Swords, everyone thinks of the GameCube game, but I mean the Game Advance game. And that's the one people forget in the most.
That's true. But, you know, It is also 4 swords, so...
For good reasons, I guess.
okay. Here.
So yeah, Master just finished 10 and 7 here.
And
So
Dragon's about to hit up the Medusa Head D8 boss, which is the only original final boss from a dungeon in Seasons. And also an extremely easy boss that doesn't make use of the dungeon item, which is very weird to me. Just altogether.
yeah, that's kind of
Like you can hit Medusa Head with the Hyper Slingshot to, if you do like Pegasus Seeds, you can freeze her to get easier hits, but I don't know, it's a little bit interesting that
completely unnecessary.
yeah, it also thematically doesn't really make sense with the whole, I don't know, like Fripolar is like super thematic, and then you have Medusa Head just sort of chilling. I don't know.
Oh, picking up the heart container again.
No. Dragon!
Well, I guess this one you want to have full health for Onyx here.
Yeah, that's
And,
fair. I mean,
You get the
also-
fairs in a way, pretty much.
yeah, I was gonna say, you have Facade, so you have Fairy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jangler taking a fall there. It's gonna put him a little bit behind PK. This is a super,
PK and Jangler.
Yeah. super tight race, and then depending on HSS skip, we could see Mashy really come back here. And I based on where our off restream runners are at, sounds like Nitro may be close, along with Mighty. Sounds like HSS skip might be a pretty big potential stopping point or transition point for who's going to be in second place here.
The Dragon had really good dynamite. He got a gold splat. D7, D8 as well. D6 and D8. Very Italians.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I like all the Zelda games are all pretty solid. I think it's a pretty solid series on the whole.
One thing for Force Swords, Force Adventures, as well as Triforce Heroes is that they are level based. You don't have a huge world to walk around in,
Yeah.
and that makes it like hard to come up with huge skips. So they're pretty slow, like in comparison.
I just want everyone to know that was a 6-second gold split for Dragon on D8.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
6.2. That's so good.
That's really funny. That's his best D6 or D8. That's crazy.
He did have a good D8.
Yeah. No, it was very solid all the way through. It's just funny to see that happen. It's always, I like gold splits in races are always amusing to me.
Yeah.
But it's good to see, and we're gonna see this fight here. So we're looking at a very, very solid time coming up. I'm assuming we're not gonna see too much of a variation on his splits here for Dragon unless he really, really butchers something. But I think that we're looking at, a 140, potentially a sub 144, assuming that things go smoothly, which is
You
a
might
very
still get
exciting-
unlucky with the War Masters.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen in good runs as well.
it's true. That's true.
I like the RNG at Facade as well, I guess.
Yeah, RNG on Facade could be a little bit bad. I know that there is a manip for this. I know that Z-Master did make a manip for the Onox's Castle to make sure that you get good rooms.
Pika here. If Pika can get... Oh,
Oh,
Pika fell the
no.
first try.
Okay, so this is what we're talking about now. So this between, we see Mashy, or we see Jangler and PK here. Mashy not far behind. So we're gonna see.
Oh, Pika messed up the setup, so he has to reset and try again.
We're gonna see. We know that Dragon Gain at first try makes the jump look pretty easy, but when you see,
It's very precise.
yeah, when you see other runners do it, you can get a feel for how precise it really is and how it's a huge. Both Sagaz, Dren, Dragon, all very consistent with the trick. Just a testament to how good they are, really.
Yeah, if Massa can get this first try, and
Yeah,
that's going
it's
to be
a huge
pretty
time
much
save.
close.
Yeah, I mean, it could be to put them at least ahead of these two if they're not able to get it here shortly, but it's a huge time save for him. Oh, Jangler on the first jump. I think that might be late.
And you might also get unlucky with the ball roamers as they can push it
Yeah.
down in the end. So even if you make the jump, you get pushed down in the hole and have to do it again.
So that Jangler's jump, it looked like his first jump was good, but that his second jump, his extension on the cape was about a frame or two too late on that, which is unfortunate.
So we have Dragonet, he started Onyx Fighter.
So this
We
right
have
here,
two phases here, yeah.
yeah, we have two faces up top. kind of, depending on how you look at a phase. And then you have the final form here. Typically, you can pull out the rod to bash away Din's crystal, so you don't take damage. But it turns out that when you do a spin slash, if you hit Onox when you also hit Din's crystal to take damage, you run out the timer on Onox's invincibility, so he will take a second hit. So you take some damage, but you also get done faster.
Okay, Mashy coming up here with the jump. Maybe.
Oh my god,
Oh!
Mashy!
Mashing the lead from these three.
Wow, Mashy
That's
taking
great.
over, at least for the Rishi in second place. That's incredible. And we see, wow, that's very nice to see. Dragon here fighting Onox doesn't get the stun. He didn't even look like he went for the stun, which is super interesting. Also, Onox is a troll. That was a troll. You hate to see Onox just decides every once in a while to just not bring the claw all the way.
So Pika ran out of health, had to reset and started dunning over.
I'm super interested by Dragon not going for the stun lock here, because you can jump back and forth on the hands and do slashes to lock Onox into position. It's a little bit difficult because if you're not perfect with your timing, he can move too far. Hey, but there we go.
Dragon's done with a time of 1:44.10.
Okay, not bad at all. Very respectable race time, especially with, I know how rusty, at least from an any percent or all essences percent, he is. Still cutting the 145. Huge GGs there, and I'm very curious to know. At this point, Jangler has. So Jangler, in as far as the restream is concerned, in third.
And Pika is still trying for that skip.
Yeah, and I mean, this was a big point in the tournament that we had last year, or I guess 2 years ago? Last year, 2 years? I don't remember. Might have been 2 years ago. Time flies. Is that HSS skip is a big deal breaker. Deal breaker. It really changes the tide here.
Yeah.
Just pretty significantly. Nice thing about it, HSS skip, is that even though you do end up losing a lot of hearts when you miss, there are these sparks here that you can hit with the boomerang to get a fairy. And I believe, is this the young...
This is Dragon.
Hello.
Good game, and congrats to your victory.
GG's on the anniversary win. That's a pretty sick gold split on your D8.
Yeah.
Great skip in that dummy first try. Really nice.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
But how do you feel overall about the run?
Pretty good. I didn't open any chests that I wasn't supposed to, but got close.
And we had both Mashy and
Yeah.
and Jangler picking up some useless stuff.
I saw it. And I went to the pirate docking.
You went to
but
the beach.
But I did not talk to him. So technically,
No,
I didn't screw up. Technically, I didn't screw up.
No, I think it's still a screw up.
I think it is around, but it happens.
Technically not. Technically not. I walked to the right tree and I went for a walk and then I went back.
yeah.
It's fine. It's all fine.
That
It
was,
worked out anyway.
yeah, and I mean, I don't believe, knowing you, I don't think you did any all essences runs beforehand. So this was pretty
Yeah.
fresh. So very solid times, solid play overall. Nothing aside from that particular thing. And I think you didn't go for the, yeah, you got Facade. You didn't go for the Onox, the stun lock at all. Do you never go for the stun lock?
I don't know.
I don't know what you. What?
Well, I normally I do like a combo, like
Sure.
2 spins then stun, but I just didn't know how to fight Onox anymore, so I decided to wait, let him drop his claw, take 2 hits, jump back on the claw, and then he didn't get on my claw. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awkward.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
But yeah, I normally I do a combo, but I didn't know it. I was like, am I doing spins right? Am I watching the right way so I get a rebound off the claw with my sword? I was too focused on that, and then I just forgot about the stun lock.
Hey. PK just got his HSS skip, which puts him now in the second half of D8,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because I know he was first one of the rest of the restream to get there, so a little bit sad, but you know, still good that he gets it.
Yeah, your attempt dragon looked really solid in it with the skip.
I loved it. It was really good. I was 2 frames early on the first position. Then I did a single buffer to get in the right position. Then I had 1 extra buffer than I normally would do for the second frame.
Yeah,
So that was
No.
really nice.
it was very clean, very clean D8 overall. I mean, like we said, it's a gold split by 6 seconds, which is pretty significant.
Yeah, it just shows I never really
Optimize
practiced
your
optimized
run.
my D8s
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so with the skip, like done in 8 is fairly short now.
It's fairly short and you can
So 6 seconds
use
is quite a
of
lot.
Pegasus. If you get it first try, you have a lot of extra Pegasus
Yeah.
to use, so you can save a ton of time everywhere.
It's-
And that's a swag kill by Jangler getting
Yeah.
killing literally petrified. That's how
I
you
know.
do it.
It's now what? I feel like D8 used to be like a 10-minute dungeon, and now
Yeah,
it's a
10 minutes, 11 minutes.
6-minute dungeon. So it's pretty insane.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I would like to say I know, but it looks like we're gonna get a PB from Mashy. Honestly, he's currently
Oh,
just about 3 minutes ahead on his PB. He currently has a PB of 154, and he hasn't, unless he dies on Onyx.
If he doesn't go into his corner, he's fine.
Yeah, that would be the big issue. I mean, if he can get the stun lock, I mean, obviously it's free, but if he doesn't go into, just don't go into the corner and be fine.
Yeah.
Looking good here. Jangler gonna go ahead and grab that seed and then be on his way. I don't know where our off-stream runners are at, but it looks like Mashy might take second potentially. I don't know.
yeah, I know that Nitro had a good run going before, but he lost 3.5 minutes in Dungeon 7. Not sure why, but yeah. But I guess the other runners might be stuck with the skip as well.
Yeah, it's totally possible that anyone could have gotten a little bit caught up on HSS skip.
As PK lost like 8 minutes there.
Yeah, it's rough. Anytime you end up having to reset to do another set of attempts, it just feels it's a little bit demoralizing. But you know, good on him for pushing through and continuing the run and not quitting out.
Oh, and Mighty has finished with a time of 1:50.47, grabbing the second place.
Yeah, with the second place, super awesome. Nitro just after that with third place.
Nice.
At 151.13. Sorry, it's a little bit of a peek into the future for chat, but
Yeah, you're a bit
What
spoiling
is
the results. They will.
what? Huh?
Our bot will. tell
nothing
the
happened, nothing
times
happened.
in-
What? Sorry. Sorry. What? Huh? Nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. Pretty. Wow. And for the first time, thank you, ZSR bot, for letting us know that Nitro has finished with a time of 1:13. Thank you. Appreciate that. Pretty solid third
Let's see
place.
if Mash is going to be our fourth place player here. As mentioned, there are 8 players in total for this race.
Yeah, so we have.
And
who am I
yeah, those 3 on screen, plus Nitro and Fear Blizzard playing.
Yeah, Nitro Fiery.
Is it Fiery or Fury?
Fiery Blizzard.
I always said Fury Blizzard. Because because of how it spells, like Fiery doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, English is weird.
Yeah,
it is. That's how they can chalk that up.
So I'm actually coming up on the second phase of the Onyx Fighter.
Yeah,
The
second phase.
Sigma phase.
Decent number of hearts. I mean, this is also the Mega Man room, so
Yeah.
you know. So we'll see if he gets the stun lock. I think he's just good. Like I think he's
Oh,
Yes, a lot.
no. But no, Mashy.
yeah, Fortress. I don't think they will actually, because I don't know. It feels odd.
Here's my view on the Oracle's remake is that I would love an Oracle's remake, but I don't want them to do an Oracle's remake if they're going to do it in the style of Link's Awakening, because I really like the way that the Oracle games feel on Game Boy, on the originals feel, and I guarantee that if they do their remake, that it's going to feel like the Link's Awakening remake, which is going to probably make a lot of the stuff not feel as good. Like, I don't think Pegasus, Seeds, and Cape will feel as nice. But if they were able to do it in a way that preserved the feeling of the original, then I would be totally down.
And Onyx goes down for Magi.
That's what we like to see. Thank you, ZSR Bot, for the finish time of 1:53.11. No spoilerinos from the commentary.
Talk about remakes. I do think that Zelda 2 might actually be remade.
Zelda 2?
Yeah, I think so. Like, if
think
they're
so?
going to make another one, it's going to be that.
You think they will? That's interesting.
Well, if they are going to remake something, it's going to be that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they will, in a way. If you know what I mean.
Cool to say. Mashy!
Grabs on the
That's not
PB.
Mashy.
Oh
Yes,
no!
Nitro.
Nitro!
Nitro!
But Meshi will join
Oh
soon.
my god.
What happened in Dungeon 7?
Okay, so I was minus 3 minutes on entering Dungeon 7. Everything was going really well, actually. Ever since Enter D4. It was a really good run. It was going to be 146. Everything was going well. And then I fought the mini-boss. And then I forgot that if the torches go out, they send you back to the start of the dungeon.
Yeah, and you had no warp back.
Yeah.
So
And then you have to do post-skip again and all that good stuff. So, things happened.
Things happen. And welcome, Mashi.
Mashy,
Hello.
GG's on the PBs.
Thank you, thank you.
2-minute PB. Very nice, very nice.
That was
Nice.
still an awful run. I could have done so much better.
It's
I
not
mean,
nice with that the random memory to get the first one.
That's true. You did pick up that map. But
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, and there
But,
we go. With Jangler finishing off 154.51.
Yeah, Mashi, when you got up to Dungeon 8, like PK and Gagner was way ahead of you, but you got to skip on the first try and they got stuck there for a long time, so you got ahead. Very nice.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Rando really does help with. Is like I get to keep practicing HSS skip.
Mm-hmm. It's a really
for
great
sure.
script. Welcome
Hello.
Gangler into the stream as well.
GG's on the
Hello.
finished Jangler.
Thank you.
How everyone, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know that a lot. I think
Man,
Jangler, Meshi, and Dragon, there was no real. A lot of this was kind of cold running coming in.
Very
outside of
cold.
like doing rando. I don't know, Nitro, if you had been doing any all lessons to.
I got a PB last week, actually.
Okay, so
150.
nice. So more recent practice, but how do you feel sort of not with? How do you feel about your runs, considering that you've not been doing any all essences runs as of late? Really, for those of you that have not been.
I was actually even with my PB entering D4. That was without getting
Yeah.
power ring though, so it was like a little bit of built-in time save.
Right.
Then I must have died to Vire in my PB because I gained like a minute in D6 somehow.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, your death against Goma, like that took you off a bit.
Yeah, Goma was that was the beginning of the end really.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to get the 2 keys in Dungeon 7
Oh, I saw
that
that.
you're supposed to get before Cape, so I had to go back and get those.
But yeah,
You seemed a bit confused standing at the key lock there, just...
and it's
Yeah.
huge. GG's to Mighty in the chat. GG's on the second place finish. Pretty solid stuff. If you want to hop in here, Mighty, you're more than welcome to.
I actually would have beaten Mighty, but I died to Onyx.
You died to Onyx.
Yeah, I would have
I was-
PB'd, actually, but
I
I died
was-
to him.
400% scared that Mashi was going to die to Onox because Mashi dies to Onox a lot. And
All the time.
I got very scared when you fell after
Correct.
the first hit. I was like, Mashi, no, Mashi, why? Don't do this. to
Yeah,
me."
once I fell, I thought it was all over.
Did we have PK finishing as well? With a really fitting comment. As he didn't really like the...
And it looks like Fiery about to round out as well, if my restream is correct. Potentially, he also has a heart.
Stop the time already.
I know he did. I know. I didn't know if that was.
Oh, I only 1 health left. He might
Yeah, this is
die.
no.
Oh, well.
You're dead.
Oh, I bet this.
Buffer. Pause. Buffer. Buffer. Pause. Pause. Buffer. Buffer. Pause.
Oh,
pause.
this is so scary.
Ah! Come on. Come on.
No!
No!
The final one! Oh, we had it!
Oh my god.
Oh, Blizzard, please. Okay.
Sniped.
He can still get sub 2, I think.
You can't join? Why can't you join, Mashy?
Oh, Mash is in.
Fast.
Mine
I'm
is.
here.
Mash is here.
Or Mighty. Sorry. Dude, my ability to talk today has gone out the window. I'm
Alright.
sorry. Mighty, why can't you?
That's what happens, you know, when you do 2 hours.
It's true. I got roasted for calling it the Pegasus Cape because I do that on occasion. So it's fine. Everything's fine.
Pegasus Cape.
Pegasus Cape.
Brooks
Pegasus Cape would be awesome.
It sounds great.
It is great. Let's get Mighty in here. We need. This is the anniversary race. We need everyone in. Everyone.
Oh,
in.
Blizzard didn't have any bombs, so he had to go back and buy them. Interesting.
Ooh, that sucks. That's always I mean, deaths to Onox really suck if you don't do a safety save right before
Yeah.
Facade, because if you do take that death, then you end up having to leave to go get bombs. Which
You
is
can be on Facade for literally like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's faster to go back to the shop at the
yeah.
Welcome, PK, and too bad about the deaths. HSS kid.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate to say the least.
But
And I mean, the rest of the run was
Very
alright.
good.
I got kind of robbed on D4 on a few occasions, I think,
Mm.
and D6 boss and mini boss were mean, but they always are. At least I nearly got the Belmani, but I panicked and missed the seed. And I got D7 Manip, which is actually very good.
Mighty.
Well, there's Might as well. Welcome here.
Mighty GG's on the second place. Mighty?
Mighty.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Mighty?
Nothing
Chat.
from Mighty. I see.
It looks
Yeah,
wants
he's
to
not
talk?
blinking.
Damn, I forgot I turned my mic off.
Okay,
To...
there we go.
Nice.
There we go.
Mighty, GG's on the second place. Talk to me. You were I didn't get to see. We didn't get to see the run. So how did it go? How'd you feel? Because it was. I mean, based on your finishing, it seems like it was pretty decent.
6 try HSS skip, and it would have been like sub 150 if not for that.
Yeah. Though I mean that's actually super sick though. Have you? I don't know. You had been doing a little bit of practice runs before, right? Or no?
Yeah, just a tiny bit, not much.
Well, clearly it paid off. I mean, it definitely paid off with the second place. Very solid. How did you feel about outside of HSS skip? How did you feel about everything else?
It was about as good as I've been doing, so you know, it's fine.
Well,
Apparently, I golded Onyx somehow.
nice.
Oh, not bad.
There were a lot of different people got golds at different points. I know Mashy's almost entire second half of the run was gold.
I got like 5 gold
Yeah, I know
overall.
that Jangler had like 2 or 3 random golds. Dragon golded D8 and like D6 entrance. It was a lot of random golds, which is very interesting to see, particularly for how cold everyone was sort of coming
Yeah.
into it. So it's I think it's a testament, if nothing else, to the amount of tech skill that Rando helps keep fresh at all times.
And talking about Rando. Hey, Jangler, what
Good.
were you going to do with your seed outside Dungeon 2?
Sorry, what was that?
What were you about to do with the seed outside Dungeon 2 that you picked up? That was interesting.
The seed outside Dungeon 2 that
Yeah.
I picked up.
Didn't you pick up
Oh,
the chest?
yeah, you're
Like,
right.
oh, here's come
I like knew as I was pressing the button, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this, but wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rando field.
Well, I got the map in Dungeon.
Yeah.
At least I didn't do that. I didn't get any of the bad chests in D6. Those are the other ones that are bait.
Dude, that's an easy bait to take. Wow, Fiery with a 6 stun lock.
Nice,
Fiery.
Stunlock, very beautiful. And
Fiery. Where was this? You needed this just a little bit ago. It would have been great.
You
So it's been a minute since I even played Rando, so when I was doing HSS skip, I actually forgot what the subpixel setups were. Like which one to use when you jump and which one you use when you don't. Which is funny because I came up with those setups.
Oh yeah.
I know that feeling. Like for the ice bomb jump in A Link to the Past, like I found that, but I can't do it myself. I'm so bad at it.
Mashy, I wanted to ask your Manhandla fight. The last hit as well. I just want to say the last hit that you got in Manhandla was sick.
That was
the two. You
crazy.
got like both head hits in like the most
I
ridiculous.
got the double hit into
was-
into hitting
Yeah.
it itself.
That was sick. That was pretty sick. Oh, so we have Fiery. Let's see if we can get Fiery in here as well. Get the full crew in to celebrate. Chat. 19 years of seasons. How exciting! How many?
Next year's the big one.
Next year we have to do
76
something.
seasons.
We have to do something that's.
We've been planning the big thing for next year already.
Yeah.
100%.
100 what?
Yes.
100%.
100% race.
All right. So what you're telling me is that I have to learn comms for. All right. Cool. That's good to know. I have to learn comms for
100%
ages.
relay race.
100% relay race. Okay. Cool.
I guess I need to have an end episode.
Oh wait. In that case, I don't have to learn Aegis comms. I can relay my Aegis comms to someone else. I like it. Good job, everyone. That's what I like to hear. That's the good stuff.
I should finish a new 90% task for the anniversary.
Ooh. We get a season's any percent task for 20 years. Is that what Tampa said? Is that what Tampa promised to live on stream? Tampa would not give a promise on stream again and then not do it.
I've done it so many times already. I promised to get a sub 2 hour run on this game. And
There you go.
That was like 10 years ago.
GG.
Not 10 years ago, but yeah.
Fiery.
High
closing
five.
us out.
Brandon for the win, yeah.
The vanilla finish. Talk to me. We got to see we got you up on the stream for the end here. We did unfortunately see the death to Onox happen. So talk to me. What happened?
Beyond failing to juggle and then my controller briefly disconnecting there.
Oh, that's what we like to hear. That's I mean, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, just a full-on fucking tilt.
You did such good dancing on the fire in the end, though. So then you get killed at the last. Like no.
Yeah, the sound
was
was pretty sick.
And the sound in the end was really good, yeah.
Tell me, how do we feel about? Looks like I'm looking at your splits that you golded D8.
Oh,
How did
no. I mean the auto splitter fucked up at the end. I did gold D8, but that's because it was his second try's HSS skip.
All right, second try, solid. I mean that's sick. It looks like overall outside of. I mean, it looks like you outside of that Onyx fight, that things would have gone pretty solid time-wise. So, I mean, outside of that, how was the rest of the run?
Well, as I commented on the race channel, I entered D4 without bombs, so kind of went down there.
Oh no, this is rando knowledge. Did you pick? There's the chest.
There's a chest.
First
yeah.
chest has bombs in it.
I thought it was a compass. Shit.
No, that's rando. You're thinking of every rando you've ever played.
Dude, this guy has
That's
run
where the
100% before. He needed the compass.
But
Shit.
19 years, 20 years. Apparently, the 20th anniversary is a 100%. That's exciting. That's special.
God bless whoever's streaming that and playing and commentating.
I know the biggest obstacle in this run for a lot of people was rando muscle memory and getting rid of that. That is fair. That's a fair assessment of the situation. But I think overall everyone looked pretty good.
I felt like I was constantly running out of seeds.
Yeah.
I just could not remember the seed routing.
I think for sure, like item menu routing and seed routing are the two easiest things to drop from memory when going through. But yeah, but I think, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's we've done it. We've done everything. We've done our 19 years. We've done Oracle of Ages. We did Oracle of Seasons. Thank you to all 8 of the runners for showing up, playing, being sick, being awesome. Big thank you to Tampa for commentating with me, for overcoming my general noobiness of not even the names of item. I really appreciate it.
Well, I haven't seen runs of this game in years, so like I don't know the game anymore. So it's fine.
And as always, big thank you to ZSR for putting on this little show for us, and thank you to Cyber for being our man behind the scenes, helping out. But at this point, I'm gonna do the thing that I always do, and I really hope that Cyber's ready, where I'm gonna ask Cyber what else is going on the ZSR channels that other people should watch, whether it be on this channel coming up or other channels. So what's going on?
What's going on? And so the schedule for today was quite filled, but I think for today we have everything done. But Zelda 2 Max Rando race. Let me check. The Zelda 2 Max Rando race should be live now, by now. Not sure if it is. We had... probably not live, no commentary for the
It was
race.
cancelled, Trash says.
Ah, okay.
Apparently.
Didn't have that on my mind yet, and despite everything else, the next scheduled matches are on Wednesday. Another Zelda 2 randomizer match and a Link to the Past randomizer challenge cup. Which is it? The match for the third place between Quizball and Scrap Casual. Oh, those names.
Well then, in
Names
that
are hard.
case,
So thank you
everyone-
Phenomenon and Tompa for commentary, and also congratulations to all the runners, to all the 7 runners. I think we miscounted myself as blocker.
Whoops.
It's fine.
Hey, you were a runner in our hearts, all right? You did great. Really proud of you.
Good job, Adina. Thanks a lot. And I'll see you
Have a
guys
good
later.
night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.